Joining me to discuss issues surrounding the October 5 election is Professor Patrick Bugi. He is a professor of administration. You're welcome to the program, sir.
Good afternoon.
Okay. Looking at issues surrounding the forthcoming election in Rivers State, there have been pockets of attacks in the state. And what are your thoughts concerning issues like that?
Electoral violence has been with us over years. And we cannot at this moment believe that we can stop it. Because stopping it means we have to initiate some procedural effort. There is poverty in the land. And so the less privileged young boys and girls in society saw opportunity for little money, and they are easily bought over by actors at the political arena. Parties and individuals who are involved in politics believe that only the people who have arms can make them win election, and therefore the general awareness of crime-based election is everywhere within us. It will take us time unless we change our approach and strategies before we can get a fair election in the states.
Okay. I'm talking about still on violent issues. Looking at the exercising of franchise of voters, what is the way out to stem the tide of this violence in, all spheres of the state when it comes to election matters?
Election crisis is one unit of crisis in our polity. It's one. And we cannot make effort to remove one while others are existing. Now it's just a consequence of the systemic corruption in our country. Now, a lot of persons who work with the state governments have no house to live in. They have no light. They have to struggle to buy gen for them to see light in our country. And so when they see opportunity that can give them money to buy gen and rent a house, the actors in the political arena have made available these resources. See, there's nothing we can do, but they have to jump at it. And so it's very important for government to look at the comfort of people in the country. Okay. What I mean by comfort is, if you look at the case of Rwanda and the lanky, what they call the lanky president, Kagame, he saw that the problem of Rwanda was that of accommodation. And so what he tried to do was to provide houses for every working man in Rwanda. You see, when you do that, you reduce the desire for human beings to look for additional source of wealth. And so they were available. What they were facing now is hard to feed. And so now in our country, there's no light, there's no house. So everybody is struggling to get these basics of need. And so stopping electoral attack or crisis cannot just be on the face of television or newspaper. We have to go back to address the root causes of them.
Okay. We also had incidents where INEC officers and with PVCs and other sensitive electoral materials were raised by hoodlums. What does such act portend for Nigeria's democracy?
Hoodlums who are on the one side of the political, action groups, when they find that INEC officials are on the other side of the bargain, they must look for a way to at least deliver their candidates that have paid them. And so that's why you see hoodlums attacking INEC officials. But where election process is fair, and we have strong institutions that regulate the process of election, you will see that even hoodlums will have no, access to election. Yeah. Now that's why sometimes when you listen to the wave of election in the state, you find when they discuss, they call it conventional security and the non-conventional security. In short, they have leveraged the non-conventional, that's the hoodlums. They use them to perpetuate crime so that they can get results.
And just finally, your words to political parties and all those involved in the elections, quickly.
Political parties should have ideologies as we have in other climes.
Okay.
They should have why they are contesting. But it looks like all the parties have no ideology. So they pursue the same interest. And so parties should preach the sovereignty of the legal process, the strengths of the repressive and regulatory apparatus of the state, so that they can be covered when propagating their party ideologies. If the parties understand and appreciate that the institutions are strong, then they can demonstrate their political wills on the people.
Okay. Thank you, Professor Patrick Winyokpoli, for sharing your thoughts with us. Thank you very much for coming on the program too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.